Hi, everybody. Joe Cioffi here, Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Just want to give you an update on Category 5 Hurricane Milton in the Gulf of Mexico. And I'm using the color enhanced satellite loop because the eye is so small, it is hard to really pick out on the visible, but you can see it here, how well defined the eye is. It's like a pinprick inside a buzzsaw that is moving, and just judging from the motion of the eye, it looked like it was moving east southeast. It may have turned a little bit east or even slightly north of due east now, continuing to push along. You can see it with respect to the north coast of the Yucatan Peninsula. Now, there may be some interaction that will start to go on in the coming hours. It has been intensifying at such an incredibly rapid rate. It can't go on forever. The reconnaissance aircraft that is there right now, and just to show you this, the depth of this, the red line indicates the pressure, and the fix at 41 minutes after 11 o'clock Eastern time had a pressure of 925 millibars. At 1 minute after one this afternoon, that pressure had dropped down to 914. It's basically been deepening at about uh, 9 to 10 millibars an hour during this morning and into the early afternoon. And the blue that you see, those are the peak winds, the flight level winds sitting at about 160 knots. The SFR wind and the SFMR wind speed and showing here the rain rates and the wind speed. The blue lines are the wind speeds touching two peaks at 180 knots. Okay, so now that'll get adjusted down. That number gets adjusted down as far as the surface wind that they'll carry on the 2 o'clock advisory. And as of the last advisory at 10 a.m., well, this was the old forecast track. Let me see if I can get an updated map here with an updated position because they did send out, Hurricane Center did send out a update. The last advisory position was 21.7 and 91.7 with top winds at the time they were carrying 155. On the update statement, the last update statement was uh, 21.7 and 91.6, top winds at 160. So they may actually nudge the winds up a little bit more on the 2 o'clock advisory. Got another loop here I can show you a close-up view in the enhance. I mean, look at that eye. It's just spectacular. This is a rare event. There've only been two other hurricanes on record, Wilma and Felix, that have intensified at a rapid rate as fast as as fast as Milton has. So, I mean, it's in rarefied company here, and who knows how low it can go. I mean, 900 is the next objective, I suppose, and put it into the rare category of Atlantic hurricanes where the pressure gets below 900 millibars. So I just want to go back, and this is the forecast track from the Hurricane Center on the 10 a.m. advisory. Major hurricane all the way through until it makes landfall along the Florida coast, still as a major. And the track has been nudged a hair further north to near or just north of Tampa, which is not good news for Tampa Bay and points southward as far as storm surge is concerned, because it's just south of the center that they'll see the maximum surge. And that landfall, that position right on the coast, is at 7 p.m. Wednesday. We've got hurricane watches that are up this afternoon. I got to believe they'll go to a warning tonight for this area in Florida. Usually they might wait till 36 hours, which would take up to tomorrow morning to put up the warnings, but I'm guessing they'll put them up this evening to give everybody that much extra time. Tropical storm watches further north up the coast, back to about Apalachicola, also in down to the Florida Keys. We have tropical storm watches up there, and I would suspect that they'll probably go to warnings as well. The Storm Prediction Center, this is another thing to pay attention to. I just want to go to the day two outlook for tomorrow, where they have a marginal risk for severe weather ahead of the storm in much of central and south Florida. That, by the way, comes with a 2% tornado risk. Day three, which is Wednesday, the day we expect a landfall, they have a marginal to slight risk on the initial forecast. And I suspect that when we get there, we'll probably see tornado risks on the order of 5 to 10%. Rainfall, give you a look here from WPC. The area across North Florida is in the 6 to 8 range. The darker brownish areas are 8 to 12. Those are mostly offshore, except for the area in northeastern Florida, because they're going to be getting an east wind there. So the rainfall will probably be enhanced between Orlando and Jacksonville. And that's sort of a broad brush. There certainly could be local amounts that will be far higher than that. So we're going to continue to watch this. The latest GFS, you can see the storm moving northeastward into Wednesday. This is Wednesday. Let me see what the time frame is here on this. Just make it a little bit lower. This is Wednesday evening, just offshore. Looks like just to the south of Tampa Bay, just to the north of Charlotte Bay, moving across Florida from there, coming out the other side sometime late Thursday morning or early Thursday afternoon. Could skim southeast Georgia, bring some heavy rains to southeast Georgia and perhaps to parts of coastal South Carolina, but the track is going to be straight east. And as far as the weather across the Northeast is concerned, now that we've got this weather front passing offshore, we've got chilly, dry October weather ahead for the rest of the week, with temperatures that by day starting tomorrow will be mostly in the 60s. Nights will be down in the 40s. We'll probably even see our first 30s in inland areas north and northwest of Philadelphia and for New York City, and the entire rest of the week should be on the dry side. Quick check of the radar. We do have some. There's been this lead frontal low that's moved off the shore coast of Florida and heading out to the Atlantic. But we're still getting showery rains in parts of South Florida. Then there's a bit of a gap and some showery rains going on in North Florida. In the Northeast, the morning showers and the thunderstorms that were in the mix too, those have now moved eastward to about to southeastern New England and Cape Cod and off the coast of Maine, and they will continue to move along to the east. The Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast. Hold on, let me get that. There we go. So tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast, it's all about Major Hurricane Milton, and we'll be live tonight at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll see you then.